week we're talking about 1940s dresses. Avid readers of Vogue may recognise the dress I'm wearing here, which is of course the dress that Kate Moss wore on the cover of Vogue last month or the month before. This Miu Miu dress is very much one of the big catwalk looks for this season, a kind of classic 1940s tea dress. 1940s tea dresses have always been a popular look in vintage stores. You go into any vintage store and they'll have a rack of these because they are very elegant and very flattering, and this season they're fashionable as well, so it's a good time to go and buy one. What makes the tea dress a classic really is a great day to night dress. It's kind of covered up and demure enough for daytime but looks dressy for going out, and it's a 1940s look, but because of that it works really well for modern day living. So this one here is Miu Miu. This is quite expensive unfortunately, but does have really amazing beading detail on little snowdrops here, little sequins, and lots of kind of special 1940s detailing, like the padded shoulders and this kind of slightly off salmon-y colour, which is a bit of a trademark of that era. The best ones on the high street, I think, are the ones that aren't too literal. You can get very kind of obvious 1940s tea dresses on the high street, but to be honest, when they're cheap, they tend to look a bit twee, and it's kind of better to go for something that takes one element of the look and has fun with that rather than something that looks like a cheap copy of a catwalk vintage look. My personal opinion. Oh, and the shoes. I'll show you the shoes at the end. Okay, so the first high street dress that we found on this look is this ASOS one, which here it's really the print that I think is kind of taking from that 1940s look. It's quite sort of vintage dress, vintage wallpaper almost, and sort of swallows and the kind of like muted colours with that sort of mushroom, but then these little pops of cherry and yellow and stuff I just think are really beautiful. That's from ASOS. And again, quite a strong shape in the shoulder with this little gather, which is quite a 40s touch. And although it's quite covered up, it does have a little keyhole section at the back, which is quite nice so that you're not too sort of mummified by fabric. Secondly, this is Marks & Spencer's. I like this because, again, it's not a literal 1940s look, but it does have those elements. It has that kind of a bit of a Japanese flower to the print, which is quite classic of that era. And again, it's got a bit of a shoulder pad and sort of drape over the shoulder. And this arm shape, which it's sleeveless here, but has a kind of draped section here, which is quite flattering over the arm so that you can wear a sleeveless dress, but you don't feel completely exposed in the upper arm area, and quite a good length. Again, with a sort of cut out back section, which you could hopefully cunningly position to cover your bra strap. This one is very pretty, very vintagey with the little kind of diamante buttons here. This is Tara Jarmon, which you can buy at Phoenix. Another kind of feature to look for is this sort of gathered effect here, which is what's happened on this warehouse dress, and they've got that kind of 1940s pansy print. This is there's that kind of original Kate Moss for Topshop dress, which was very much in this ilk. A bit flimsy, maybe, for November, but, you know, with a cardigan. Velvet, this is not really a 1940s shape, but it definitely has something of that kind of slightly kind of Katharine Hepburn-y glamour about it, with a little bit of a dazzle. Partly what's nice about the 1940s is it doesn't have to be too girly and pretty to be feminine. These kind of dresses, which have elements of sort of shirting and a collar and buttons and things which make them feel a bit more work wear like and utilitarian, but are still dresses, really like this one. With the Fortuny pleats, probably more 1930s than 1940s really, but kind of vintage. And this colour, which is really quite a sort of retro, mustardy shade, big colour for this season. I love this colour, it's a hard colour to wear, but it does look brilliant if you have the skin tone for it. And again, if you want something that's not completely girly but has that sort of vintagey dress look, I think this one from Topshop, buttoned all the way to the top, is perfect. And two accessories to finish off. Little furry collar, shoulder cape thing from Banana Republic, which I just think is so much fun and may have to go on my Christmas list. And last, but definitely not least, the shoes that went with this dress on the catwalk. These Miu Miu glitter, trompe l'oeil, ankle boot, peep toe pieces of art fabulousness are definitely what everyone wants for Christmas this year.